I'm missing part of my Thanksgiving to make sure you guys, your family, your grandmother, uncles, everybody has a nice video that y'all can come together in the living room and watch during your Thanksgiving. It should be going up 3:30 p.m. Eastern, so you guys should be digging into your turkeys and all that good stuff, right? So, let's get straight into this one. Why not?
This is high speed chess. That's what you're watching.
Once again, like I said, I am missing my Thanksgiving right now. So we're going to try to get through this quick so I could get up out of here and handle my business. I don't like Thanksgiving. Do you guys like Thanksgiving? I don't really care for it. I guess it's a time for me to see people. I don't know. But I'm going to be spending majority of my Thanksgiving here with you guys. But we're going to be doing a fighters I'm thankful for tier list. And the first tier is fighters that mean a lot to me. These guys I hold dearly in my heart. Fighters I'm thankful for. Fighters I'm glad they're here. I'm really glad on the impact they've put into the sport of boxing. Fighters I really don't care for. And then fighters that I think I'll be better without. And then my shades are too dark and I just can't make out who it is, right? So this is a tier instead of I don't know, because I've made this personally. All these fighters are here because I put them here, but like I said, there's some duplicates in here. Maybe my shades are a bit too dark and I just can't see them. Let's get straight into it. Sebastian Fundora. This guy is a formerly unified champion. He fought at Tim Tszyu, stopped at Tim Tszyu. That's really about it. Sebastian Fundora is a great kid though. I really don't like his style. I really don't like the way he looks. I really don't like much about him, but I'm glad he's here. He's made a great impact on the sport of boxing. I think he's somewhat of a formidable champion. And I'm glad he's here. So Sebastian Fundora is the first on the list. I'm glad you're here. Next up, my shade's too dark. This is Bruno Saras. Who is this? I genuinely could not tell you who this is. This makes me think I didn't make this, but I promise you guys I made this. Stephen Fulton. I'm really thankful for Stephen Fulton. This guy's taken risk after risk throughout his career. He's fought in not an undisputed fight, but he fought in a unified fight where he was a unified champion. He was defending his unified titles against pound for pound Naoya Inoue. He moves up. He becomes 2 division. Now he moves up immediately after. Now he's chasing 3 division. Beautiful. I love Cool Boy Steph. I just gotta say I am thankful for Cool Boy Steph. Boxing is a much better sport with him in it, right? So next up, Janibek Alimanila. And I'm glad you're here, Johnny Beck. I really do like Johnny Beck, but I'm not thankful for him yet. There's nothing he's really done for me to sit here and say, you know what? I'm just super thankful. I couldn't imagine boxing would be drastically different without you. Great fighter. I think he's better than Cool Boy, especially right now, but I can't sit here and say boxing would be drastically different if Janibek Alimanila wasn't in the sport. Then we have a duplicate. Then we have Fumalele Kafu, a fighter I just don't care for. He had that fight with a Jesse Rodriguez in which he didn't throw much, in which he really made no or he wasn't really urgent on getting back to the center of the ring. Hasn't made much of a mark on the sport. He's a solid fighter, but yeah, don't care for him too much. Next up, Moses Itama. Hasn't done much neither, but I think I am thankful for Moses. Moses is a really young kid. He is in a very big market for heavyweight boxing. He's in the UK with Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury stepping away from the sport very soon. I think Moses Itama has done a great job trying to fill their shoes slowly but surely. He's young, he's explosive, he's taking on challenges. He has the looks, this kid is great. I'm thankful for Moses Itama. Boxing, I could not imagine how the heavyweight division would look in the next 2-3 years without Moses Itama. So I'm very thankful for the kid. He's a beautiful kid, right? Next up is Gary Antoine Russell. And I'm glad you're here. This guy, a bit more laxed, a bit more calm, but he brings a sort of aggression, heavy punching style to him, to the ring. He's always going to put on a great fight. Is it going to be, the highest of level boxing? Is it going to be just a pound for pound bout when he's in the ring? No, it's not. But he's going to bring an entertaining style, and I think he could, maybe even give some pound for pound fighters a run for the money, or maybe even an upset. So Gary Antoine Russell, I'm very, very glad you're here. And same with Alberto Puello. They kind of fall together. Yeah, Puello has beat Russell. I thought he beat Matias as well. Probably move him up, honestly. But they're about relative. They're really about relative. But yeah. Now, who is this? Who is man? It's not Bakram. Who is this, man? Shades too dark. Next up, Abdullah Mason. I'm so thankful. This is a beautiful kid. I know I say that about a lot of people. This kid is truly beautiful, right? So when you look at Abdullah Mason, now that he has became a world champion at 21 years of age, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise, that is insanely impressive in the sport of boxing. He's 21. He's yet to put on a boring performance. He went to Saudi. That is a big deal. Going to Saudi on one of the bigger cards of the year. You're fighting under a David. You're fighting under a Jesse Bam. You're fighting under a Devin Haney. There's a lot of pressure on this kid. He goes in there and he performs how he's been performing all throughout his career. In a couple years, I would say Abdullah Mason would be one of those, means a lot to me. But I would say the lightweight division would drastically change if Abdullah Mason wasn't there today. So shout out to the kid, right? Aget Caballero, I'm glad you're here. You have some good names on your resume. There's still a lot to be desired. There's still a lot on the table for the guy to go out and grab. So I just want to see how see how the career pans out. But I'm very glad that you're here. I like you in the heavyweight division. He's a great fighter. Right? Next up we have, who is this guy? Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua, you mean a lot to me, and you can say what you want about Mr. Anthony Joshua, formerly unified heavyweight champion. I made a whole video talking about the disrespect guys have been showing him, if he's a Hall of Famer or not, which I think is absolutely insane. Anthony Joshua is easily a first ballot Hall of Famer, but Anthony Joshua, I couldn't imagine the heavyweight division without him. He is single-handedly, I'm not going to say single-handedly, but he is, collaboratively, him, Fury, and Wilder carried the heavyweight division for years, right? And he carried most of that load, him being arguably the bigger star, him taking the tougher fights. Anthony Joshua, you mean a lot to me. You mean a lot to the sport of boxing. I'm very, very thankful that you're here. Anthony Alasquaga, you're just a guy. I'm not gonna say I don't care for him, but I'm glad you're here as well. You fought Taraji on short notice. You go up, you become a flyweight champion. Anthony Alasquaga, another kid I would say is great. Not a beautiful kid, but a great kid. Very, very glad you're here. I'm expecting a lot from him in the future. Why not? Artur Beterbiev, you mean a whole lot to me, man. This guy, when we look at the career, the landscape of the light heavyweight division, first of all, and you look at the career of Artur Beterbiev, he makes his big break maybe 2017, 16, 18, around there. He takes out Erica Koling. He stops Erica Koling for the IBF. He stops Alexander Vazdik for the WBC. He stops Joe Smith Jr. for the WBO. He beats Dmitry Bivol for the WBA for the lineal title. Like, this guy is brilliant. Artur Beterbiev, how could you hate him? He takes all the smoke, and he's gonna put on an entertaining fight. He's gonna stop damn near anybody he steps in the ring with. He's 41. He's fighting on knee surgeries. He's fighting on short notice. He's fighting on quick turnarounds. This guy is what boxing needs. Artur Beterbiev means a lot to me and the sport of boxing. Next up, who is this? Arnold Barboza. I'm glad you're here. You took out a Jack Catterall. You took out a Jose Ramirez. You fought a Teofimo Lopez. You're a great contender at 140. I'm glad Arnold Barboza's here. I would like to see more from him in the near future. Next up, Dmitry Bivol. Bivol's been on some BS lately. Bivol has been on some BS lately. I don't know what's going on with the negotiations between him and Artur Beterbiev. I don't know what's going on between him and the negotiations of a David Benavidez. I'm going to say I'm thankful for you until I can kind of get some more clarification on what's going on with Mr. Dmitry Bivol, I gotta leave him in that thankful tier because it's not looking too good on his side of the, contract negotiations and exchanges, right? Jaron Ennis is another fighter I'm just thankful for. I'm not gonna say I'm glad he's here. I'm definitely thankful. There's a lot more to be desired from him. There's a lot more. He was a formerly unified lineal welterweight champion. He moves up. He fights the guy in Wisma Lima, which is far from good. I'm just thankful. There's still a lot to be, desired once again. Next up, Brian Norman Jr. I'm glad you're here. You haven't done too much. You took the fight with Haney. You talked a lot of game. You got dominated. Like, I kind of predicted this entire buildup of this fight. But you took a tough fight. You knocked out a Jin Sasaki, who was a decent win. You knocked out a Giovanni Santillan, which is also a pretty good win. So I'm really glad you're here. You're a fighter who is a formidable opponent to anybody in that welterweight division. So I'm very glad that Brian Norman Jr. is in the sport of boxing, specifically the welterweight division. Callum Smith is another guy. I would say I'm just glad, but genuinely, Callum Smith is one of those guys. I'm thankful, man. Thank you. He took a fight with Canelo for the unified titles, in which he lost, but Canelo's Canelo. He took a fight with Artur Beterbiev for the unified titles once again. He's putting up fights. He's not in there running. He's not in there trying to survive. He's in there. He's putting up fights, and that's why I respect Callum Smith. He put on arguably fight of the year with a fighter I was really high on in Joshua Buatsi. So Callum Smith Mundo, man, I'm very thankful for this guy. He's not one of those upper echelon high tier guys, but I am thankful for him. Next up, Canelo. You got to give Canelo just the top tier. I feel like I should almost make a tier, for Canelo specifically, because this guy, whether you want to say he's a dog, whether you want to say this or that, Canelo Alvarez has been carrying North American boxing since Floyd Mayweather's retirement, man. He has been the biggest pay-per-view star, coupled with his great boxing abilities, his skill, his talent, his accolades, achievements, the revenue he's been producing. Canelo Alvarez has been the heart and soul of boxing, not only in North America, but you could argue globally. Very, very grateful, thankful for Canelo Alvarez. Couldn't imagine my career, couldn't imagine the sport and the landscape of it without Saul Alvarez. Next up, we have Christian Mbilli. I don't care for him. No, I'm thankful. You put on a good fight with Lester Martinez. You couldn't stop Derevyanchenko with one arm. I'm glad you're here. Very entertaining style. It's more to be desired from Christian Mbilli. I'm glad that he's here. I would like to see more from him in the future. Next up, we have, who is this? Galal Yafai. I don't know. Don't really care. You beat a Sonny Edwards. You got beat on by, what's his name? Francisco something. I couldn't remember his name. Next up, we have Jesse Bam Rodriguez. One of the guys, solidified it. Means a lot to me, man. This guy is amazing. Jesse Bam coming off Fuma Lele Cafu, coming off, what's my boy's name? El Gallo. Jesse Bam Rodriguez is not only brilliant inside the ring, he is entertaining. He is very technical, explosive, a very pleasing style for fans across the board. Jesse Bam Rodriguez is only 25. He's already a 2-division unified in both of them, lineal champion. This guy, he's going to be the future of boxing to some regards, right? So Jesse Bam means a lot to me, means a lot to the sport of boxing. Islam Madrimov, I'm thankful, dog. I'm thankful. You gave my guy Terrence Crawford a shot at 4 division. I don't think anybody else would have gave it to him, because you had Fundora holding the titles, in which he ducked Terrence Crawford. You had who else was the other champion? Who else was it Bakram? I don't think Bud was willing to fight Bakram. I don't think there was a mutual agreement those two could have came to. So you take on a tough fight with Terrence Crawford. You go in there, you give him the toughest fight of his career. Instead of, taking a tune-up, you go and fight. You fight Virgil Ortiz. Are you kidding me? This guy is beautiful. Islam Madrimov, that is, right? So Islam Madrimov, I'm not going to say I couldn't imagine boxing without the guy, but he has been a part of major fights you know, that kind of dictated how the last 2 years of boxing has went. So you got to take your hat off. I'm not taking my hat off, but you got to just give him the nod, right? Okay. Emmanuel Rodriguez. Shout out to this kid. Shout out to the guy. Emmanuel Rodriguez. I'm thankful for you. That's his name, right? Emmanuel. No. Emmanuel Navarrete. What am I saying? Emmanuel Rodriguez fought anyway. Emmanuel Navarrete, the cowboy. Thankful for him. This guy, 3 division. He's taking on all the challenges Top Rank is put in front of him, and he's always going to give an entertaining style. He has unification coming up, doesn't he? Right? He has the unification coming up, so shout out to him, right? He's on the border of that Hall of Fame status. You guys don't want to hear that. Emmanuel Navarrete, if he became 4 division and, you know, still goes on to have that great career he's been having, he would be in the Hall of Fame. But Emmanuel Navarrete, very thankful. Next up, we have Sego Yuriakui. Is that who I'm looking at here? Thankful for you, man. I'm glad you're here, actually. A great fight with Taraji. He's fought a Junto Nakatani. He's fought some future Hall of Famers, right? So, and he's put up a good fight. I think Nakatani stopped him fairly early, but against Taraji, he was winning, man. He was winning. And I don't go live for many fights. That was like the only fight this year I went live for. A Kui versus Taraji at like 3 a.m. That's how much I love these guys, right? And I'm sitting there as a Taraji fan. I wish I had the clips, but I'm sitting there, and round 3, I put all my money on a Kui because I'm like, yo, Taraji can't defend that right hand. A Kui's a lot larger, and then that stoppage was a bit questionable. I'm not complaining because I am a Taraji fan, but it was a bit questionable stoppage. He really put on a good fight. He showed a lot of emotion. This guy, oh, I love Sego Yuriakui. I want to put him thankful, but he just hasn't done enough. I'm just really glad he's in the sport of boxing today. Is this Bruno Saras? I think this is. I don't know. This guy looks like he could be in a commercial of some sort. My shades are too dark. Who is it? Puma? You know, I'm thankful for Puma. He took on a Kazuta Ioka twice. Tough fight. I thought he lost both of them, but really tough fight. At least he definitely lost the second one. But you know, it was a unification bout the first time around, and he took the rematch. So I really like Puma. I'm thankful for him, and he just gave Bam the opportunity. They both gave each other the opportunity for 3-belt unified. I'm all about pushing the sport forward, taking tough fights, making the sport progress. If you're doing that, I'm gonna have some sort of, you know, gratefulness thanks to you, right? And Kishiro Taraji is one of those guys, maybe not in the sport of boxing, but for me, I couldn't imagine my career. I couldn't imagine how much I could enjoy boxing without Kenshiro Taraji. This guy fight. Right? This guy just fights. If he gets himself in a bad situation, what does he do? He's gonna fight himself out of it. So he's always putting on an entertaining fight. He grabbed the unified titles, the WBA, WBC, junior flyweight titles. He defended those X amount of times. He has a fair amount of stoppages on his hands. He moves up. He immediately challenges, I can't remember the kid's name, but he grabs the WBC from him. Then he immediately challenges Sego Yuriakui for unification. He fights Sandoval, loses, and now he's going up to his 3rd weight division, and immediately he's going to challenge for another title. Kishiro Taraji, very underrated. Shame on you for not helping me push this guy into the mainstream, how I've been trying to do over the last couple of months. This guy is brilliant. Floyd Schofield is a guy, I'm not gonna say I don't care for him, but I'm glad he's here. I'm really on the verge of putting him here because the entire, you know, canceling and delaying fights, it's getting a bit old. But he fought a Tevin Farmer, in which I thought Tevin Farmer had a good chance of winning that fight. If Schofield won, I thought it would definitely go decision. Nobody predicted a 1st round knockout, so you know, I'm glad he's here. Shout out to Kid Austin. Next up, Oscar Collazo. Hope I'm saying his name right. I'm very thankful. He's taken down a Melvin Jerusalem. He's taken down a CP Freshmark. He's unified. He's brilliant. He's excellent, right? So I really do like Oscar Collazo. I'm thankful. He's the only fighter really worth watching at 105 right now. So unless you guys know somebody, you guys put me on, because he's the only guy I'm really keeping my eye on. Next up is Shades Too Dark. Let's go ahead and move Johnny back up out of here. We already ranked him. Virgil Ortiz. another guy. Means a lot to me, means a lot to the sport of boxing. A lot of the Mexican American boxers that are breaking their way onto the scene, they're going to take a look at Vergil Ortiz, and they're going to see somebody they can relate to, right? Anyway, if you don't notice, there's a big a big boom in Mexican American boxers coming into boxing and becoming elite professionals, becoming champions. And Vergil Ortiz and Jesse Bam Rodriguez, David Benavidez, they're all gonna be driving factors in Mexican Americans in the next years to come, and how impactful they will be on the sport. Very grateful. I'm gonna put thankful for now. Just because he hasn't become champ yet, but he's taking on every challenge and he's willing to take on even more. He's a great kid, and that's exactly what boxing needs. Zurdo is another guy I'm really thankful for. I wouldn't put him over Bivol. I put him over Boots. He's taken on a lot of challenges as well. The guy started his career at 160, moved up to 68, I believe. Then he moved up to 75, then to 200. This guy, he just released a statement talking about Jai Opetaia. I haven't gotten to it yet. I haven't looked at it, but maybe that would sway where I put him. But for now, I'm very thankful for Zurdo Ramirez in the sport of boxing. Next up, we have... Shade's too dark. I gotta be honest with you guys. David Benavidez, right? There's only one place you could put David Benavidez. I wouldn't put him over Bam or any of these guys because they're just way more accomplished and they've just done way more, for me at least. But he means a lot to boxing. Once again, there's going to be a big boom of Mexican Americans making their way into boxing, becoming elite pros or becoming world champions and all-time greats. And they're going to take a look at Vergil Ortiz, Jesse Bam Rodriguez, and David Benavidez. And the guy has constantly called out a guy in Canelo. I am a big Canelo fan. Not the biggest fan of David, but he's constantly called out a Canelo. He's constantly calling out a Artur Beterbiev. He's constantly calling out a Bivol. And now he wants a piece of Zurdo Ramirez. Yeah, this guy's an absolute animal. Every time he puts on a fight, it's going to be fireworks. I love David Benavidez. Win or lose, he's a great kid. Next up is Naoya Inoue. And once again, I'll put him over AJ, and I'll tell you why. Naoya Inoue has earned his respect as a fighter, but while doing so, he simultaneously has now shined such a light on just his country and his side of the world, and it allows a lot more people like me on my side of the world, the Western side of the world, to say, I'm gonna give this guy a chance, because there was a point in time, whether you guys want to admit it or not, you've seen a little guy or you've seen a Japanese guy and you would dismiss them, without any context or knowledge on their career. Naoya Inoue has kind of changed that, what's the word? God, my mind's blank, but he's kind of changed that prejudice, I guess you could say. Prejudice might not be the best word, but now he's kind of changed the way we look at Japanese fighters. And so when we see a guy like Naoya Inoue, Kenshiro Taraji, Seigo Yuriakui, we say, well, now wait a minute now. Naoya Inoue is Japanese, so I'm gonna give this guy a chance, right? So really impactful, really great fighter there. And Takuma Inoue is a fighter. I'm glad you're here. He's putting on good fights. He's not a good fighter, but he's putting on good fights. He just beat He just beat Tenshin Nasukawa to become two-time WBC bantamweight champion. Shakur Stevenson's up next. I'm thankful for Shakur. I'll put Shakur about right up here. I just want to see a bit more from him. I want to see him. He had a bad stretch of fights from. He stopped Yoshino, but then he had the bad fight with what's my boy's name? Edwin De Los Santos, and then he goes on and he has the kind of relatively boring fight with Artem, and then he has the late replacement with Josh Padley, but then he makes it up in the Zepeda fight. The guy's 3-division unified silver medalist. Shakur Stevenson, one of the best defensive boxers I've ever seen in my life, right? Tyson Fury's up next. He means a lot to me. Like I said earlier on in the video, he's one of those pillars that carry boxing or heavyweight boxing. Him, AJ, and Wilder. Well, him and AJ, carried boxing, period, along with Canelo. These three were the biggest stars. Tyson Fury is one of the most recognizable faces today. He's put on some of the most iconic heavyweight bouts of all time with Alexander Usyk, with a Deontay Wilder 3 times. Very, very, very weird style, that's kind of appealing to fans. I love Tyson Fury. I wish he didn't have to retire. If there was anybody I could turn that clock back on, it would be the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury. I've grown to like him more and more over time. Devin Haney. Couldn't imagine boxing without this guy, man. Could not. He gets a bad rap. Fans don't want to give him the credit he deserves. He went in there and look what he just did to Ryan Norman Jr. You guys still don't want to give him the credit he deserves. But in terms of chasing smoke, he's probably number one. Him, in a way, yeah, Benavidez hasn't fought a lot of great opposition, but it seems like he does want to. But yeah, he's up there. Like, this guy wants everybody on the table. Doesn't matter. I could not imagine boxing without a Devin Haney. Fun fact, Devin Haney somewhat created my career. My first viral video was Devin Haney. And so that's what kind of got me into boxing. So out of sheer respect for Dev, man, I'll put him number one. Like I said, my career, couldn't imagine it. Don't know if I would have a career without Devin Haney. He's a great kid. We still have a bit more to go. Let's see. Richardson Hitchens. Don't care for him right now. He's doing what you know what? I'm thankful for him. I'm glad he's here, matter of fact. Kambosos is cool. Pero was cool. Want to see more. Runs his mouth a lot. I want to see him get back in the ring. Hamza Shiraz. Yeah, I'm glad you're here. I don't really care for him, honestly. Like, the draw with Adames in which he really lost and he stopped Berlanga, he looked okay against Mo Williams. He still has to do more for me. Who is this? Nick Ball. Thankful for Nick Ball. Entertaining style. He's taken on a decent amount of challenges. One of the best fighters Frank Warren's Queensberry has to offer. Thankful that Mr. Nick Ball is here. And he took down a Ray Ford, an undefeated Ray Ford. So that's pretty dope. Who is this? No racism. This guy's really dark. That's Joshua Buatsi. look, he's really dark. When you put the shades on and it's a black background, I'm like, dog. Bad picture. Love Joshua Buatsi. Hasn't done too much, but I am glad he's here. I'm not gonna say I'm thankful for him. Like I said, he did have that fight with Callum Smith, which was really dope. I think that's all he's really done for me. He's had some other very solid bouts. I'm glad he's here though. Joseph Parker, thankful for you, dog. The whole playing with your nose incident, it happens, man. It happens, right? Not for me. But that's just a slip up that every man has made. Maybe not literally. I don't think we've all literally done coke and slipped up before, but he kind of just messed up. It happens as a man. But he's taken down Chang, Wilder, and Bacoli, right? In like a 3-fight span. And he has the fight with Fabio Wardley when she was winning and people thought it was early stoppage. But yeah, this guy's amazing. I like Joe Parker. Only thing he's missing is a world title. Junta Nakatani, once again, fighter I'm really thankful for. I'll put him above Cerdo. 3 division, unified, lineal, amazing style. Every time he comes out, it's going to be entertaining. And now he's helping Naoya in a way, kind of shake off this notion that Japanese or Eastern fighters, Asian fighters are, bad, or lighter weight fighters are bad or don't have good opposition. So shout out to the both of those guys. He just hasn't done too much yet. Who is this? Kazuta Ioka? I'm thankful for him. He's taken on tough fights throughout his career. He's a lot older now, but he is a 4-division champion. He has constantly challenged himself. Like I said, I thought he beat up Puma Martinez. I thought that was supposed to be him in the ring with Bam that other night, and I thought he would have put up a way better fight than Puma Martinez. Yes, he would have probably lost. I don't think he would have got stopped, but I love Kazuto Ioka, one of the fastest 4-division champions in the history of boxing. Love the guy. Lamont Roach. I don't care for Lamont Roach. I really don't. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I've said enough about Lamont Roach. I'm gonna leave it at that. T.O. I'm thankful for T.O. He's taken on tough fights throughout his career. These things are just not in order. I just kind of stopped putting them in order after a while. But yeah, I like T.O. He's done a lot. He's taken on some really tough fights. He's Teofimo Lopez. He's a pound for pound fighter. He's 2-division unified, 2-time lineal. Took down a Loma. Took down a Josh Taylor. Shout out to T.O. Manny Pacquiao. Come on. Pacquiao. If you want to talk about shaking off that notion of Asian or Eastern fighters being bad or fighters who come from lighter divisions being bad, Manny Pacquiao was really the guy who, you know, got that train going for Inoue for Junto Nakatani. Obviously, he's not Japanese, but he's Filipino, and, you know, before Pacquiao, most people looked at the lighter fighters and like, yo, he's not good. You know, if they're not fighting at 130, 135, they're not good. And Pacquiao was, he came into boxing, not only becoming the greatest fighter of all time in my eyes, but he came into boxing and he moved through the divisions and he said, look, us little guys down here, which is, you know, majority Asian, we're good too. So shout out to Pacquiao. I couldn't imagine the landscape of boxing without this guy. I don't know who this is. This Masamichi Yabuki? I don't know. Subriel Matias, good fighter. He's constantly put on good fights, constantly challenged himself, constantly looking to fight world champions. I'm thankful for him. That's all I could give him. Let me see. Maybe not thankful. I'm glad he's here. Yeah, that's a bit of a stretch. I'm glad he's here though. Nah, shade's too dark. Akhmadaliev. I don't really care for him. Like, is it? No, I'm glad he's here. I'm glad he's here. Opataya. You know, he's the only cruiserweight that people are getting up and like, yo, did you see this guy? So I'm thankful for Jai Opataya. He's really great. We already did Koyato, I believe. Rafael Espinoza. Glad you're here, man. Glad you're here. Ray Ford. I need to see more, but I'm glad you're here. Who is this guy? Jin Sasaki? Is that Jin? No, that's not Jin Sasaki. Who is that? I don't know, man. I don't know who that is. I don't know who this is. Dog, it's like I didn't even make this. Terrence Crawford. Okay. Terrence Crawford, it means a lot to me. It means a lot to, you know, American boxing. He's a really great fighter. Nowadays, a lot of the African American boxers get this bad stigma around them that they are too defensive, and Terrence Crawford is the perfect blend, and he's doing a great job kind of shaking that off. He's bringing back that old school boxing that a lot of fans are demanding. So shout out to Bud. TJ Doheny, don't really care for him. Don't know why I put him on here. Usyk is a guy, like, he goes right there with Haney, Noya, Inoue, David Benavidez, right? Just give me anybody. He's the definition of give him to me, right? So Usyk, I could not imagine my career. I could not imagine anything going on in this sport if Alexander Usyk never laced him up. And then finally we have Daniel Dubois, which is a fighter I'm very thankful for. He's taken on a lot of tough challenges as well. He's fought in an undisputed bout and a unified bout. He's defeated Anthony Joshua. You gotta respect Daniel Dubois. But this video was a lot longer than I thought. You guys should probably be done with your Thanksgiving dinner now. Probably, I don't know, my Chiefs should be playing or something. I couldn't tell you, but hopefully we're up. You guys, let me know what fighters or what are you most thankful for in boxing. What are you most thankful for in life? I mean, I don't care. You guys let me know down in the comments below. Hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace out.